Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited about this week's chat, y'all. It's kind of been a crazy week. First of all, I would like to say, if you're new here, first of all, welcome. I'm so thrilled that you are checking out this chat. We are doing a weekly chat now. I usually post it on Wednesdays, so if you would like to be part of that chat, excuse me, I have a nose itch. Please do feel free to check this out. This is our second post. And I've had some great interaction from y'all. If you are returning and you're enjoying these chats, I'm so happy. Y'all, I've had some really great comments about unboxings, the chats, things that we're talking about in the chats, people leaving ideas. I'm super excited about the interaction. Please do forgive me for the sheep behind me here. We are yet in the middle of a second blizzard windstorm out here in South Dakota. We basically have already got like over 2 feet of snow outside. My back and side door, I open it and all I see is snow. Can't walk through it. We have stayed home today. They're just now getting around to plowing. It's 40+ mile an hour winds out here with expected more snow this afternoon and tonight. So it's just kind of weird. No shipping has gone out. I don't even think the post office actually could be open right now because there's no access and people are not out driving right now. So it's kind of a crazy beginning of the week for us, beginning of the new year. But you know what? Aside from all that, you guys, I'm super excited about, sorry, I keep looking over because somebody's messaging me. I'm super excited about this year, you guys. This is going to be a great year for reselling. And let me start off with this before we get into some points that I want to talk about. The reason why I say that, y'all, is this is a prime time to be a reseller. I say that because I know even through Christmas, I'm going to lower you guys a little bit more, even through Christmas, being on the Whatnot auctions and also in the reseller chat community, whether it's on Instagram or YouTube, there's a lot of people out there right now looking for good deals on clothes. And my understanding, I haven't been to my Goodwill stores for a while. My Goodwill stores actually are fairly reasonably priced, but I do know a lot of territories like Oregon, Florida, Texas, all different kinds of places, California, their prices are through the roof. So even for resellers to buy to resell, there's so much going to the bins right now, honestly, because things are not selling at the Goodwill stores because people don't want to pay the prices. So my point in saying that is people are having a hard time even buying stuff at the Goodwill stores. And it does, I think, cause more lower ball offers on different platforms. But I also do think that now is a really great time to resell, partially because people aren't getting out shopping as much as they used to. And to be able to source online is just a huge benefit. For me, I think with Whatnot auctions, it's a huge benefit because I'm actually able to sell things. Even doubling my money, I'm actually able to sell things and double my money and still make a profit for a really reasonable price. So I think this year is just going to be a really great year to bless people with youth clothing pieces, still sell online for people who can't get out and about, who are having struggles providing for things. I just think this is a really good year for us as resellers to bless other people with used clothing or brand new with tags clothing at a really discounted price, because retail, guys, is so expensive right now. People were doing a lot of purchasing on Whatnot, brand new with tags, even on other platforms, Poshmark, Mercari, eBay. I got messages about people so thankful for the discount of the cost that they were getting with the new with tags items compared to the regular stores because they just couldn't afford it. So guys, no matter where you're selling as a reseller, I truly think that this year and the next coming years is going to be a huge blessing to those people looking for good quality items, whether it's new with tags or good pre-owned, for us to provide that opportunity and that source for them to find good quality clothes. That's why I say that. Now, I have a few pointers here that I would like to talk about on this week's chat. And again, I'm going to say ahead of time, if you have questions or things you would like discussed in the weekly chats, please do not hesitate to leave them below. I've had such great comments already on the weekly chats, people sharing with me about what they're doing, where they're sourcing, where they're selling, the fact that they're brand new to reselling. And I would like to also say before we get into this, if you are brand new to reselling, I don't care if you're new for a few months, just started literally or whatever, wherever you are, I would like to say congratulations to you. As a reseller, I've been in this really full force. I've been in it for about a year and a half, but really gung-ho for about a year. I would like to say congratulations to you. You have endeavored and embarked on a journey that could be so great for you, depending on how much effort you put into it, how much time you put into it, how much research you put into it, how much of your own personal take you put into it. This could be such a great opportunity for you, and I'm so excited for you. So congratulations if you are brand new to reselling, whether you're part-time or full-time. This is such a great thing, and I'm so happy for you. I do have some pointers I would like to get to. I have about 7 items I would like to cover, 7 topics I'd like to cover. And again, as I go through these, please feel free to comment down below your thoughts, and at the end, also, I'll share that to you. Also, for those of you who don't really know me, I am loving life freely on Whatnot, eBay, Mercari, Poshmark, YouTube, and Instagram. So if you are new to this, I would like to say hi. I'm so glad that you've joined us here. I am a full-time reseller. I keep very busy with everything, especially since I've added Whatnot. I am the only one currently doing this right now. My husband is working a full-time job, and that's just where life is taking us right now. Our business is growing, but he has some ventures that he is pursuing, and he still helps me with this, so we still do it together. But I am the full-timer on this, and we're so excited about where our business is going this year. I am also looking at trying to figure out where my business will be going this year. Whatnot is growing for me. My other platforms, eBay is growing for me. I am trying to figure out where I'm taking my other platforms, though, to be honest with you. Mercari and eBay, I'm just trying to give you a little bit of a life for me. Mercari and eBay, I am still working right now, but Mercari and Poshmark, I am still working right now. I am still listing there. But if I don't have time to list there, my first and foremost priority to list my minimum of 5 items every day. I'm trying to do 5 to 10 items every day on top of planning for my Poshmark or my Whatnot auctions and YouTube. I am working on listing a minimum of 5 to 10 items a day on eBay. If I'm able to cross-list them on Poshmark and Mercari, I do that. But my first foremost focus is eBay. And then when I have free time, I'm cross-posting those items to Poshmark and Mercari. Because again, I am focusing a lot on Whatnot right now. On average, I'm doing 2 to 3 shows a week right now, so that is taking up time for me. But I'm really, really wanting to build that up, and then of course build my eBay up. So that's kind of where I'm at. I would like to say, so I don't forget to do this at the end of the chat video, I would love for all of you to do 2 things on each weekly chat. 1, tell me how good things are going for you, no matter where you're posting, and how your week was. And 2, I would like you to share something that you would like to be improving each week. Okay? As resellers, we should all be working on improving and tweaking, even though we're in the first of the year. And we've been talking about what we're changing for the first of the year. We should always be looking to improve, grow, and change all year long, right? So we should always be looking to tweak and change and grow. So I would like each week for each of us to be talking about how our week went and what we're doing to improve our reselling business to have it continue to grow throughout the year. So please comment down below. 1, how is your week gone as a reseller, and what are you looking to tweak and change to make your business grow and improve and make happen? You know what I mean? It's up to us to make our businesses grow and make things happen, right? So do those 2 things for me each week, and that's what I'm going to be sharing with you. I'll try to remember at the beginning of each weekly chat how things are going for me and what I'm working to change and improve to make my business grow. So that's kind of that part of it. Okay, so let's dive into these topics, y'all. I'm super excited. So via some of the comments that I got on last week's chat and other unboxing videos that I've had, I would like to talk about platforms. And specifically, does everything that we list sell on all the different platforms that we're listing on? Like, for example, some people are saying that they're just selling on eBay. Some people are saying that they're just selling on Poshmark, and some people have shared with me that they're looking at adding like Depop Macari, if they're not already selling on Macari, does everything that we list sell on every different platform? And I think this is an important topic to discuss because I don't think so. And the reason why I say that, because having posted on multiple different platforms for the last several months, I started cross-listing on multiple different platforms. I was listing up to 6 different platforms until this last fall. So I was doing that for a good 8 months. And I did find that some things were selling on all those different platforms, but I do think that there are certain platforms that certain items do better on. So I think if you're listing in all these platforms, I think you should definitely cross-list them. This is just my opinion. And see what it does for you. Because I will say this too, talking about this topic, not every item, or should I say every brand or every type of item will sell the same for some people. And the reason why I say that is because I've had some people tell me, for example, Athleta. Athleta is a great sportswear brand. It's a great activewear brand. But whether it's been on YouTube or whatnot, I have noticed that some people have been telling me that Athleta sells really well for them. And then other people have told me that Athleta, they can't sell it for the life of them on their platforms or whatnot. Some people sell Lululemon really well, and other people can't sell Lululemon. I've had some people tell me that Fabletics sells well for them, and other people can't get Fabletics to sell for the life of them. Now, I will say, Fabletics is, I would say, kind of it's still a brand that sells on the platforms, but it's kind of going out of season, so to speak. It was really popular a couple of years ago, but right now I think that there are other activewear brands that are more popular now. But I also think that some of those really more popular brands that are selling now are becoming saturated. One of them, I think, honestly, is Lululemon. I think everybody's so into Lululemon right now. Everybody's trying to sell it, whether it's other platforms or whatnot. It's becoming oversaturated. And I do think that on certain platforms, certain brands and certain styles sell better and sell well for certain people, and others it doesn't. So my thinking is, if you are new to reselling, or if you've been on here for a while, you need to test your own waters, to be honest. I think you need to figure out, I think if you are a cross-lister, I think you should cross-list to all the platforms you're currently listing on and test the waters to see what items are selling well for you on certain platforms. And if they aren't selling so well for you on other platforms, maybe so list them there for that chance that they might sell there. But do keep in mind, if you are noticing that some things are sitting, like if you've been reselling for a while, I would say you probably have to give it maybe a good 6 months, because you want to give it up to like 3 or 4 months for something to sell, right? If you're one of those people that you want to have your items sell within 3 to 4 months, most people like to say 3 to 4 months, and then they kind of start looking at, clearing that inventory out to bring in new inventory. If they're short-term, they want to get their items flowing through quickly. You kind of do have to have a little bit of a backup of months to see if something's going to sell. And I think that like between 4 to 6 months is kind of a good timeline to figure that out. So you do need to be reselling for a little while to determine if items are selling for you. Now, if you have been selling for like 6 or 8 months or more, you can actually go back into your stock inventory, see what has sold depending on how you list your items, whatever you use, whether it's an inventory list on Excel or something, or if you're using a cross-listing platform, go back into your solds and type in different brands that you are selling, and see comparatively how much those brands are selling, and figure out. It'll show you on your selling platform where those items did sell, and it'll give you an idea if those brands are selling, and if they are selling, where they're selling. That'll give you more of an idea if you are cross-listing, where you want to cross-list those items better, and also look at how much they're selling for, because you may have those items selling on multiple platforms. Say, for example, Poshmark and eBay. Something might be selling on both those platforms, but look at what they're selling for. Some may be selling for a lower price bracket on one platform and selling for a higher price bracket on another platform. I have noticed that too. So look at those details too. So that's kind of why I wanted to mention that. Because I have noticed some people talking about, even on other YouTube channels and whatnot, different things selling in different places. And some things don't sell as well on certain platforms as other places. One example of that I do know, and this is what I've experienced. Now, I'm not selling jewelry as much as I was. I have noticed in the last 3 months, I sold a lot more jewelry last Christmas season than I did this Christmas season. I did not sell hardly any jewelry this Christmas season, but I sold quite a few pieces last Christmas season and last year than I did this year. So my jewelry sales have really slowed down quite a bit. But I never sell jewelry on eBay. It just doesn't sell for me on eBay. My biggest platforms that I've sold the jewelry on were Mercari and Poshmark. So it really just does depend on what you're doing and where you're going with things. Okay, next topic. How many items should we list a day? Now, this is kind of a vast topic. I really do think it depends on if you're part-time or full-time, and if you're trying to get a certain number of items sold. It depends on how serious you are about reselling. Are you doing this just to kind of move some things and make a little bit of a side of income? Or are you doing this to pay some bills and you're looking to make, like, maybe an extra $1,000 a month? Or are you doing this literally to make a living on? So I think you kind of need to determine what your business model is, and then figure out with that business model how many things to make your business numbers, make your business numbers happen. You need to figure out what that is. What do you need to be making? And figure out how many items you need to be listing and know what your listing price bracket is. You need to figure out also what you want your algorithm to be on your platforms. Are you listing like maybe 5 items a day? Maybe that's too much for you. Maybe you're only listing a few times a week. But personally, I think as a reseller, even if you're selling part-time, if you're kind of serious and you're looking at making this kind of a part-time living even, I really think with the algorithms, you should be listing a minimum of 5 items a day. I'm not talking about relisting. I'm talking about brand new items on your platforms every day, 5 minimum. That's just my personal take from research that I've done over the last year. What I've noticed for growth for me on my platforms. And I would definitely encourage you, if you're a full-time reseller wanting to make a living off this, you should probably be listing at least 10 items, 10 brand new listings a day on your multiple platforms. Now, you'll have to figure out how you're going to accomplish that, whether you're hiring somebody, doing it yourself. I'm not sure if you have a YouTube channel, if you're doing whatnot, how many platforms you're on. But I do think that if you're wanting to make a living, a minimum of 10 items, brand new item listings a day. Now, comment down below what you guys think is working for you. Because some people, 10 items a day may be too much. Maybe 5 or 7 items a day. So I would love to hear from each of y'all in the comments down below. If you're a part-time or full-time reseller, how many platforms you are listing on, how many new listings you are doing per day. I would love to hear from y'all. What is working for you? What isn't? What you may need to be bumping up to make that happen for your own business. Okay, so next topic. As a part-timer, what platforms work best? Now, I think this is important because we do all know that certain platforms are not as big. For example, we know eBay is a huge platform. Everybody knows eBay. Poshmark is a huge platform, but as we all know, we're not going to go into details right now, but Poshmark is really an issue for some people right now between lives and the algorithm, what's been going with Poshmark for the last 6 months. So is Poshmark one you want to be focusing on? Mercari is not as big, but I have heard some people say they are listing on Mercari, but it's not as big of a platform as eBay and Poshmark. And you do not sell your items for as much on Mercari. I actually do fairly well on Mercari. Actually, sometimes I think Mercari does better for me than Poshmark. I made a lot of sales last year on Mercari. It does well for me, but it doesn't do well for everybody. Then there are other platforms like Depop. And Depop is not just a vintage platform. I sold a lot of items when I was on Depop that weren't vintage. So I really think, you kind of need to figure out, like with the first thing we were talking about, what items you're listing, to know what platform might work best for you. Because even though eBay is a huge platform, not everything sells well on eBay. Some things sell better on Poshmark and don't do well on eBay. So I think you need to figure out, do some research if you are kind of new to reselling, or if you've been in it for like 6 months. Take the items that you have, check them on eBay and Poshmark, see what they're selling for, even at the price bracket. Not just if they sold, but see how many is selling and at what price bracket. Compare the two platforms and figure out if those platforms are going to work for you as a part-time reseller. Okay, next is time sourcing online or in a store. Now, I think this is important to talk about because not everybody right now is able to source in stores. And it's not just a matter of time allotted to be able to go and source. But honestly, again, like we just discussed, not all people can source in their Goodwill stores because their pricing is so high for resellers. So you may have time even to source in Goodwill stores or other thrift stores. But if you're unable to purchase items in your thrift stores right now because the item pricing is too high for reselling, you may have been forced into a position where you can only source online. Or maybe if you have a bins by you, and a lot of items that were in thrift stores and Goodwill stores are ending up in the bins because they're not selling in the thrift stores because they brought them priced up too high. So you have a blessing in disguise if you live close to a bins. I don't. As you all have heard from me, comment below, or if you're new here, my closest bins is a minimum of over 2 hours away from me. For my business platform, for my business model, I don't have time to go out and source at Goodwill bins because it would take up too much of my time for the chance that I could get something traveling that many hours just to go to bins. So I do most of my sourcing online right now. But like I said, some people can't even source the Goodwill stores because the pricing is just too high. And the bins are getting stuff, but a lot of you aren't close to bins. So comment down below and tell me if you're currently doing a lot of online sourcing right now, or if you're actually able to go to the thrift stores. Is your pricing well enough? Is it low enough? Do you have bins close to you? Tell me how you're sourcing part-time or full-time. What is working best for you right now? Okay, next. Another question that we can talk about is, are we selling men's, women's, or kids' clothes? I know a lot of resellers who have focused just mainly on women's clothes. And then I do know a select few people that I follow on YouTube that also source men's clothes, but don't source a lot of them. Then, being on other YouTube channels and now being on Whatnot, there has been topic of conversation that a lot of women focus on women's clothes, but the guys are wanting more focus on men's clothes too, because there are a lot of people out there that need clothes, and that's not just women's clothes they're looking for. And then there's the kids' clothes. When you're on other platforms, like I've mentioned in my previous videos, I have not focused a lot on kids' clothes because I wasn't making enough money for me to source them. Now I'm going to be doing some kids' auctions on Whatnot, and that's going to be working for me, hopefully. But kids' clothes was difficult for me because of the fees and how little they sell for on other platforms. So do you all focus on men's, women's, or kids' clothes? Some gals literally just focus on kids' clothes because they have younger kids and they sell the kids' clothes just to kind of get reimbursed a little bit for what they've made, and they want to pass that on to other people when their kids grow out of clothes. So that works for them, but they're not doing it to make a living. They're doing it to just kind of rotate their clothes. So I would love for y'all to comment down below what you focus on. Men's, women's, do you both? Or do you do a little bit of everything? Do you do men's, women's, and kids' clothes? Okay, second to last topic I'd like to talk about is shipping. Shipping has gotten kind of weird in the last year. Not only have packages been getting lost, but shipping costs have gone up so much. And I know via other YouTube videos I've watched, there are actually other resellers who've been doing this literally for like 5, 10 or more years. And they have literally changed the dynamic of their business because things that they used to ship, like heavier or bigger items, they have stopped reselling because shipping costs have changed and gone up so much in the last year. So they've changed the dynamic of what they're selling to smaller items because shipping costs, people don't want to pay shipping costs on big items, longer items, and heavier items. So I'm curious, please comment down below if you are a seasonal reseller. Have you noticed that change in your business also, or were you not selling those items? And if you were, how did you change your business model to still accommodate your reselling to make the income that you were making selling the bigger, heavier, or longer? Like some people were selling long items, but because USPS changed the additional cost for longer shipping items, how did you acclimate your business model if you had to change what you were selling due to the shipping changes and shipping charges this year? Okay, the last topic I want to talk about this week is seasons. And one of the reasons why I'm mentioning this right now is because there have been a lot of storms, whether they're winter storms, windstorms, tornadoes, blizzards. I mean, all kinds of crazy weather has been going on in the last 6-8 months around the world. And I'm sure it's not just been affecting me. Like today, I can't ship anything out because we're literally in a blizzard storm. I've got about 2 feet of snow outside my house right now. 2 of my side doors I can't open because we are so knee deep in snow right now. And the post office probably isn't even open. And there are other people who are in other territories that are literally in the middle of, have had tornadoes. I know last summer we had some tornadoes and 100 plus windstorms that we endured. And there were a couple days there where I couldn't ship because post office was shut down. So I'm curious how the last year, the winter and seasons have changed. Plus, I have noticed that some seasons, like last year, 2021 Christmas season was a huge sales year for some people. I have already noticed from some people on Whatnot and YouTube, videos that have been coming out, their Christmas season of sales was so much lower than 2021. Have you noticed a change in your sales different seasons of the year this year? And if so, how has it affected you? Was it weather? Was it just a change of season? Was it because of platform changes? Comment down below and tell me how the different seasons have you had season changes and how much you have sold and how much you have made. I would love to hear from y'all just the different aspects of that. Was it weather? Was it platforms? Was it the seasons? Tell me down below what changed for you this last year and what you're doing this year to accommodate for that. Okay, guys, so tell me down below also your goals for this next month and this next week. I would love to hear from y'all how you're doing, how your platforms are doing, the New Year's resolutions that you made for yourself. I know we're only a few days into the new year. So what would you like to accomplish this next week and this next month? And how are you going to accomplish that? What are your goals and how are you going to obtain those goals? Please comment down below. We're here to support each other, encourage each other, and make this year a great year. Make this month a great month. Make this week a great week, y'all. I'm looking so forward to hearing from everybody. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, we do unboxings. We do what solds. I'm working on some 90-day updates. I do share with you when I'm doing Whatnot auctions. I actually have an auction today for plus size. And also, if you want to see any of those future videos, please do subscribe. And thank you all so much for liking my videos. Everything's growing so much. Super excited about that. If this video, these chats have been a blessing to you, please do like this video and also spread the word. Share these video chats with other people. We are going to continue to do these because I know that these have been a blessing already. Been hearing some great results back from y'all. So we're going to keep this going. keep encouraging each other, keep motivating each other, and keep helping each other. Also, if you guys have information about any of these topics that we talked about today, please leave it in the chat below. If you guys have information, news about any of the platforms, whether it's Poshmark, eBay, Mercari, any growth, any changes, any other platforms, you guys leave it down below, because not everybody sells on the same platforms, and I want everybody to learn from each other. So if you have news or business information about anything that's going on, please feel free to share it down below so we can learn from each other. I would love to learn from you. And I'm super excited about this next week. Guys, I'll see you in the next video. Take care.